end of any bottle, it's normally a story that comes with that. Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry, sometimes you just remember some good shit. Welcome to the Bottom of the Bottle podcast.
What's going on, good people? Y'all know what time it is, man. We back in the building. It's the Bottom of the Bottle podcast. I am your host, Jay Walker III. That's my co-host, Carolina Dirt.
You hit your mute button.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's me again. I'm going to do this introduction that y'all saw me do but couldn't hear. I'm Jay Walker III, the host of the Bottom of the Bottle podcast. That's my co-host, Carolina Dirt 803. What's going on with you, partner?
And shit, you already know what it is. It's Hump Day. Matter of fact, we're going to put it in. It's going to be tap in Hump Day. Hump Day tap in Wednesday. You extra loud, though. On your voice.
Okay. Well, we have a special guest this week. We bringing in Amy from Louisiana. She has been a part of the culture, a part of the group here. We linked up under the Let's Talk Under the Tree podcast, and we just gonna have a good time. So, welcome, Amy. How you doing this evening?
I'm great. How are you?
Man, look, hustlers survive good times, like the theme song.
All right.
Okay. Well, welcome to the Bottom of the Bottle podcast, man. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Okay, man. Look, always a good time. We gonna jump right off into this thing called First Call, man. First Call is just 5 quick questions from each of us. No right or wrong answer. Just kind of checking the temp, letting people know a little bit about you without letting them know too much.
Okay.
All right. So, my question for you, my first question: what was your very first automobile?
A Chevrolet Cavalier.
Hey.
Okay. I'm way too big to be in a Chevrolet Cavalier.
Hey,
okay.
You gotta take all doors off.
Yeah. I'm in the back seat with it.
All right. You know, the seats were broken. The seats were broken because it was a hand-me-down from my brother. And he and his boys, they rolled out.
I know how that seat got broke, and you probably do too. That's your brother. We ain't gonna get into that.
I mind mine. I was just glad to be rolling.
Indeed. Favorite subject in school?
PE.
Yeah, what'd you do?
You was an athlete. Okay. That's what's happening.
Gym and PE.
PE.
PE. That's old school right there.
I'm telling you.
It's old school. They don't even say PE.
Physical education.
Now that's a problem.
Okay. 15, 16, 17 years old. It's Friday night. You get a little freedom. Where you about to go? What you about to do with your time?
Right in the house. Wasn't allowed to go nowhere.
I'm familiar with that.
The Cavalier was gone.
Listen. Let me think. Okay, so that would put him right at about 18. Oh, yeah, the Cavalier was gone.
Cavalier was
gone.
I was so scared I wouldn't even look at the window or the door.
Oh, no. Okay. I'm familiar with that kind of upbringing. I mean, I got a little bit more. It got a little bit more lenient the closer I got to getting out of their house. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Or once I got a job. Once I got a job, they left me alone. That's what I say. Not for you.
No.
How many brothers and sisters?
So I'm the middle child. I have one brother. He's older, 3 years older, and I have a sister that's 8 years younger.
Okay.
You hit it with that Jeopardy response. I have one person, and that's how they be talking on Jeopardy when he asked them the personal questions.
Well, that was my 5. I kept it light.
Oh, okay. So, if you was in the ocean, what animal would you want to be?
Ooh. Probably a shark.
Everybody want a shark. You gotta pick something else. Everybody want to be a shark. Everybody think they're a shark.
No. I definitely don't want to be, hunted. I gotta be the hunter.
Well, a lot
There
of
you
animals
go.
in the ocean
I
are
can't
hunters.
get hunted.
You could be an orca, kill a whale.
Killer
Over
whale.
that, yeah, okay. No, I don't like them.
You don't like them? They were jumping over the little white boy on Free Willy. Killer whale.
Now, I'm about to say a killer whale can take down Jaws.
Yeah.
I'm just not a fan of those.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't know why.
All right. What was your favorite job?
My favorite job, probably a college success coach and mentor coordinator.
Hey, you being real professional now. You be kind of hood in them groups.
Wait, hold on, cuz. What that do?
Wait, Elliot, what? I can.
I say you be kind of hood with in the Let's Talk on the Tree group, but you acting real professional right now. You must got people gonna
Okay,
watch.
all right.
All right, my bad. All right.
It's all right. I am a little professional,
Okay.
My day job.
All right. What is your favorite Louisiana meal?
Boiled seafood, crawfish, crab, shrimp.
Okay.
My mama's gumbo.
Uh-oh. That's what I'm talking about. What is your favorite Michael Jackson song?
Oh no, I think probably Man in the Mirror.
Yeah, we done said that several times.
Several times.
Several times. And my last one, if you could work alongside any actor or actress in a movie, what would it be?
Now I'm not a big TV movie person. I really don't know.
Okay, no, you messed up my fifth question. Let me find something else then.
I'm not. Let me think.
Okay, you gonna walk the beach at night or walk the beach at sunset? I mean sunset or sun up.
Sunrise, bro.
Sunrise.
Yeah, sunrise. I couldn't get that shit out for
choose
nothing.
sunrise. Yeah.
All right, you made it a little harder, but first call to Amy. Appreciate it.
All right.
Man, they got the George Jefferson down.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm talking about. I forgot to put my phone on disturb. Who said Billie Jean? Somebody in the comments said Billie Jean. You can't.
That was T. Smalls.
Okay, yeah, you can't go wrong. Everybody got a different favorite. Depending on when you ask me, it'll be a different song every day. Right now it's PYT. I've been stuck on PYT.
Oh, no, I like
for
that.
the last, because it's upbeat. You know what I'm saying? You get your
Right.
groove on, all that. You know what I'm talking about?
Now, if
But
I'm
Man in the
feeling
Mirror-
myself, it's gonna be PYT.
Right.
Right. If I'm in the, in that mindset, yeah.
Man in the Mirror is the one that broke me. Like the day he died, like they was like he's officially gone, and they played Man in the Mirror.
Yes.
I was a sniveling pile of. Oh man, it was terrible, man.
What up, Smalls? Man in the Mirror should be one of those archive songs.
Yes.
Like
It's
the
almost a
songs
gospel song.
Almost.
It should be.
gospel, motivational.
I guess it could be a gospel song.
Yeah, transitional, crossover, all that birth, death, everything.
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 I
All
wonder
the
how you
things.
felt when he recorded. Like after you record something like that, I wonder how you feel. Like you yourself, like after you record a song like that, sit back and listen.
Right.
I think when you great at something like that, it don't hit you the same way.
Right.
I think when you great, you move on to the next thing.
I
Right.
don't know. You practice that song. You done looked in the mirror yourself several times.
You think?
Yeah.
What's probably you said you alluded to PE. You were an athlete.
Yes. Basketball.
What sports?
Basketball.
Uh-oh.
You was good. You was hooping, or you
You
was playing
know,
basketball.
I mean, I did a little something. I'm
The ball
short.
hit the rim. Yeah, the ball hit the
And
rim.
I got a few little nets in, I was
Okay,
really
she said a few
aggressive.
love. Okay. So they would just stop dribbling and hold their hands up. Here she come. I don't know what to do.
No,
Nah.
I stayed on the ground a lot. Like, I was.
Okay.
I'm a different person now.
Okay, so that being said, you a hooper, and you aggressive, who would you model your game after?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I don't know. I'm
Like a Dennis Rodman type, or a Draymond Green type, or a Charles Barkley type?
probably Charles Barkley.
So you just in there fouling.
No,
You just in there
no,
being
but
you just in there being rough. You just in there trying to get your aggression out. Man, my brother done took that damn car. I gotta get these points. I'm gonna be home at night.
Growing up on this farm, like, man, listen.
so that's interesting. Now, I brought the point up to say, where you started. You was in the
Yes,
starting five.
yes.
So, are there games? Is it safe to say there were games where people was like, you had a really great game and you didn't feel good about the game that you had?
Hmm.
That's the alluding to when you really good at something. I don't think the accolades stick in that moment. I think you got to live and then come back to it like, oh, I was in my bag.
Right,
Yeah, but
right.
Mike had so many problems outside of music that the world was trying to put in his face. Even growing up, you got to think about the Joe Jacksons, the movie, just performing every night. People
But
talk.
he wouldn't have been
The
Mike without Joe.
expectations,
Yeah, the
you know,
expectations.
right,
Yeah. And then he
right.
still had a life to live where he was trying to venture out and do other stuff. So the man in the
Hmm.
mirror made him judge himself a lot.
Hmm.
Because you judge
Hmm.
yourself a lot without even thinking about it. If you think about it, you judge yourself a lot without
A
thinking
lot,
about it.
a lot more, a
Yeah,
lot harsher than most people look at you.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah.
you, you checking
Even,
yourself all the time.
yeah, even if you say you don't care what people say, you do sit back and think about that. Sooner or later, that shit gonna hit your brain. Depending on what they say, even if you sitting on the couch,
Right.
it might not affect you at that moment, but you'll think back,
I think we all do that. We
yeah,
all reflect on what somebody might have said most of the time. But and then after you get to a certain point in life, you just like, okay,
yeah. That's why I said, man in the mirror make you think. I believe he did that, especially with all the stuff he went through later on before he passed away. It's just like
yes.
man in the mirror. I
yeah.
got to
I mean,
change.
I don't know, man. I'm not gonna get it. We're not gonna get into the whole conspiracy because a lot of people think that Mike is a mo. A lot of people believe the things that was said about Mike,
Yeah.
and I am not a. I'm a jaded person, so I believe all the fucked up shit, but I don't believe that about Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell me somebody did something fucked up, and I'd be like, man, you know what I'm saying? But for some reason, it don't equate to Mike. Like with Bill Cosby, it was kind of like, yeah. Harvey
But why do you
Weinstein, it
think
was kind of
why
like,
why?
yeah.
Why not Mike?
I think the
I don't
perception of
think.
Mike was bigger than Bill. Bill was the face of family, and Mike
Yeah.
was the world. Mike had people in Russia marching to him.
Yeah.
I
Mike
think.
was a living legend, and I hate to say this, God. He had people pass out by just looking at him. So
Yeah.
the perception is you don't want to see nothing wrong with Mike. Everything he did
Not
was
even that
innocent.
you don't want to see nothing wrong with Mike, but I think I was a kid through his great years, right?
Hmm.
Through his great years. Moonwalks, I'm bad,
Hmm.
all that. And then he got to the point where, as an adult, he started catching flat. So
Yeah.
the reason why I didn't really believe in it is because by the time he starts getting in trouble, Mike is a problem. Mike is
Yeah.
damn near the wealthiest man in the world. He's the most identifiable person in the world, and people ain't shit.
People ain't shit.
Yeah.
Me and my brother have had this conversation. We've had it with our
Hmm.
friends. I don't care who you are. I'm not leaving my kid with you. Who are these people leaving their kids with Michael Jackson?
Same people
Exactly.
leaving their kids with R. Kelly.
Right.
But again, R. Kelly is to blame. But we
Yeah.
also said them parents should have did that time too.
Their parents should have did that time.
That's right.
But that's it. I'm gonna go off on a tangent because we spent a
Okay.
lot of time on Mike. Today, I looked up, and Snoop is the owner of Death Row, man.
Yeah,
How
I heard that.
appropriate is that?
Legacy.
It was owned by Hasbro, like
Yeah.
the toy company. So for the legacy, all the stories, all the Suge Knights, all the Tupacs, for it to end back up in a Death Row member's possession, I feel like that's super significant because
Yeah.
that's the type of shit that white people like to dive in on and fuck it up for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
They probably
So
tried.
yeah, they probably did try. They probably did try,
Of
but I
course.
just think that that was super significant.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he's tied to Death Row, so it's like whenever you think of Snoop, you think of Death Row. Whenever you think of Dre, you think of Death Row. Whenever you think of the West Coast, you think of Death Row.
Death
Tupac, you
row.
think of Death Row. Hip
Right.
hop music, you think of Death Row, West Coast, the beats, everything is Death Row, and Snoop is affiliated with all that. So it only makes sense.
It
Hmm.
does make sense, but it doesn't happen like that a lot.
It doesn't.
Now, Amy, you grew up a way that a lot of people have grown up, but let's shed some light on it. You grew up in your parents had a farm.
Yes.
What is that day to day like? What is that childhood like for you?
Okay. So I always say that that was the best life. It is the best life because you learn a lot just by watching the animals, um, learning how to grow food. Like when I was growing up, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents and mom's parents, and we ate everything. Like my grandfather grew everything on the farm, the meat, the vegetables, the fruit. Um, and I didn't know what McDonald's was like. Like, so when I went off to college, my system went into shock. I went away to
Oh,
college.
she was
Like,
shitting up herself.
what is
That
this?
her stomach
Um,
wasn't reacting the same.
but I miss the times where family would come over and just visit, sit outside under the tree and come and visit my grandmother. She had a stroke. She was paralyzed on one side, so we took care of her. We did a lot of caretaking, and and family members coming over to visit every day, and watching her cook a meal from nothing, or something that my grandfather grew, being out on the farm with the animals. I don't have fear, you know, of animals.
Right.
Like right now, we have a beast out back, the bull.
You got a
And
real bull?
huh?
You got a real bull?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need a
Is
picture of
he
that.
still
I think
like
we have about
he
20 now back there.
Oh,
he out there hunching? He out there making y'all dinner?
Baby, he is the head honcho. His name is Big Joe.
Big
You
Joe.
understand?
Yeah,
Big Joe is running this farm back here.
That's
that
cool.
is all right. A lot of people have like they have a certain kind of farm. So y'all just went with everything: vegetables, cattle,
Yeah.
milk. Did y'all everything?
Now, I don't remember doing like milking a cow growing up. I did learn with the neighbors who live next door to where I grew up here. I just came back home. I was gone for over 30 years. I was off living life, and then my mom got sick. And I came back here in 2018 to donate a kidney to my mom.
Okay.
Oh, God
So,
bless.
yeah, dropped everything and came back home, and nothing has changed. Everything is the same. It's kind of sad, but in a way, it's like, okay, growing up here wasn't so bad. You ask 15, 16, 17 years old, what you doing in the house?
Yeah.
Right.
In the house.
what
We were not
what was
allowed to
your
learn
first?
how to play cards. Like I don't know how to play spades. And no, don't
Oh.
come for my black card. No.
Uh-oh. Well, I tell you
Uh,
what, we got to cut this video short just for punishment. a
Now
long
that's
time.
not her fault. No, you actually
It is.
have a legitimate excuse as to why you don't know
Nope.
how to
She
play.
said she was gone for 30 years. In 30 years, she could learn to play a hand of spades.
You know, it's all right.
Yeah,
It's gonna
well,
be all right.
So let me ask you, what's your favorite? What was your favorite animal? Worst animal? Least favorite animal? Your
Ooh.
favorite job
Oh
on the
boy.
farm and your most hated job on the farm. So that's like four questions.
oh
Okay.
damn.
So the worst animal was this turkey that only liked my grandmother. It only liked her, and we couldn't go outside. And then she was like, "Well, no, you going outside because you got to, you got to shuck the corn, you got to feed the animals. Like life don't stop. I don't care what the turkey is doing. You're going to do what you need to do. You're going to handle your business." So the turkey was my it was the worst animal. I loved riding the horses. I loved that. All the horses. I enjoyed that. Um, the worst job, oh God, the worst job is killing chickens. I didn't like that.
You break the neck. Y'all was breaking the
I,
necks,
I,
or
I just it was traumatizing for me.
okay.
So I didn't like that. That was about it. Pretty much you don't have a choice.
So what was your favorite job? That was the last one.
Favorite job was probably helping my grandmother cook,
Hey, so my
helping
brother.
take care of my grandmother. Yeah.
So my brother, we chill with my pops. So me, my brother, and my partner, and I don't know how we got on the subject, but he said he can't eat turkey necks. He said he said it's just the whole point. He could not understand the he couldn't understand the whole thing of the turkey neck and eating it. Like he done ate turkey, he done ate chicken. He just couldn't get across the whole turkey
Because
neck part.
it looked like a member. He said they just
Yeah,
used to put the neck on the plate, hold
yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you know what that looked like. So that was traumatizing to him apparently.
Hey,
I
so
never seen it like that.
yeah, so the crazy thing, we sitting there and we all in our zone. If you know what that means, we in our zone. So like 20 minutes later, he just looks over and be like, turkey neck? That was just it was like 20 minutes had passed and he brought it back. He was traumatized.
What was
Yeah,
your
you
first?
can see some pretty traumatic stuff on the farm. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
about to say, like, did y'all have pigs?
Yes.
So y'all butcher
Pig.
pigs.
Yes.
Y'all no
We
grocery
call it a
store. Y'all had
boucherie.
everything.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay.
Except a deck of cards.
We had the deck of cards, and I had cousins that tried it, but I'm a rule follower, so I didn't push the limit. Like I'm like, y'all gonna get in trouble. Y'all gonna show enough get this whipping.
But you went out there and you ate that McDonald's. You ate that food.
Yeah.
You
Hey,
talking about you a rule follower?
you know what she remind me of now that she said it? Prince Akeem. Remember Prince Akeem came to New York?
Right.
That's how you act. You left your kingdom
I did
and now and then you just ruined your life.
ruined my life.
And
Look,
then came back where you started.
I had not had McDonald's in years. I'm talking years. And back, let's see, a couple of weeks ago, I got sick with COVID,
Mm.
and I was coming home from work, and I'm like, oh my God, like I could barely drive. So I was like, I just need something. I need to get something to eat. I got a burger from McDonald's. Y'all, I thought I was about to die. I'm never eating that again.
You put the virus on top of the poison.
On
Yeah,
top
you
of the poison, I'm like, I'm really trying to check up out of here.
yeah, your
Like, I
body
don't
knew the
Oh
care.
difference.
man.
Yeah, your
This
body
is
knew the difference. That thing hit your body hit the reject button.
my body was like, what are you doing? You just don't care
Right.
about life no more.
Yeah.
But that's what's so dope because you are a beautiful woman apparently.
Thank you.
Like it's it's something that we need to do as people. I know it is no easy thing to run a farm, and it sounds like you got a huge one. Like, but the
We
importance of growing your own vegetables and things like that, so you don't have to eat these empty calories and processed foods and things like that.
But beyond that, when lately when I've been going to the grocery stores, I'm seeing a lot of empty shelves. I'm seeing food that just look like it's just not. I'm talking fresh produce. It doesn't look good.
Right. Right.
So if it's not like, how was it grown? And then I think, well, we've been through the pandemic. You don't just drop a seed in the ground and it's grown. You have to give it time to grow. We've lost a lot of people. I'm sure we've lost a lot of farmers. Um, so of course we're coming into that season where, okay, nobody was working, nobody was farming. So now we're in this season of lack. Like, the vegetables look
Right.
horrible.
They do.
The
Right.
shelves are bare. And I think I posted something recently. We need to get back to growing our own food. You can grow in a container in an apartment,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
Right.
No, they
and
growing
then
weed.
share it with your neighbors.
Yeah, we do that weed.
Right.
That's what the world is. We gonna share and grow weed and show other people how to grow weed. But speaking of that, I meant to ask you, like, do you give, grow, sell to the people in your city, in your area,
We
because you
don't
have so
sell.
much?
We don't sell anything other than the
Everything is
cattle.
for the family.
Oh, okay.
Other than the cattle, we do sell cattle. But next door to us is my uncle. He has a garden. My mom's siblings have gardens, and they grow the food, and we just share. It was the way we were brought up. My grandfather instilled that in us, to share with the family. When we would kill a hog, we would spend the entire day, dressing and cutting and making sure that all of the families had food.
Right.
When it was time to plow the fields and pull the potatoes and corn and all that, we would all show up to work, and everybody would bring food back home to the family. And when we needed, it was just there.
That's
So
pretty.
you can drive a tractor.
Yeah, I can. I can drive pretty much anything on the farm, and that's
Yeah,
a
shit,
part
driving a
of
Cavalier. Shit.
you.
That don't mean you
That's
can.
what I
That don't
love
mean you can ride a
most.
bike.
No, it don't. But it don't matter what you drive as long as you can move. Hey, so have y'all ever thought about going to? And y'all might have going to your local high school or boys and girls club and having them come on the farm and learn that process. Because
Here's
the
the
reason why
thing:
the
we
reason
where I live, everybody grows. Like, I live in a very rural area, so pretty much everybody has property. Everybody knows how to grow. Um, my job where I work is a major nonprofit in the Baton Rouge area, and it's a food bank. You know, um, and I absolutely love what I do there. Um,
Absolutely.
but it's hard. It's hard when you see hungry families who are children, you know, who don't have food to eat, or whose parents don't make it a priority to make sure that there's food in the house when they're away from school. So, they may rely on the school for their healthy meals. So
Right.
we provide that for them through our backpack program.
How is these storms, these hurricanes that come through? How are how has your farm and your family's farms, your neighbors, been affected by these last couple of really bad
It's
storms?
been hard with the rain. We couldn't get a good growth season, you know. And then my parents are aging, and I don't know. Like, I've forgotten a lot when I moved away.
it's a king.
So it's hard, but my brother knows, and he'll
Okay.
come and make sure that we're doing what we need to do. Um, you have to treat the soil. You got to know what needs to be done to the soil. It's a lot, but the hurricanes, thank God we've been blessed. We really have. When we look around and see, what it could have been.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
we make out pretty good. We make out pretty good. I tell you what, I'm not one that can go without an AC. I don't like it. Um, I don't like it. I don't like it. But
Yeah, see, you done went out there
because
with them daggone secular people and them city folks,
Yep.
and now you don't know how to act.
Don't know how to act.
listen, my parents have one of those whole house generators, and I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I have these extra long extension cords, and I make it work. I'm gonna get my
Okay,
AC.
We
I know that's right.
we had a guy on here from Beaufort, South Carolina, JB, on a past episode, and his family, they're on the water, so they do a lot of shrimping and crabbing. And
Hmm.
I asked him about the lost art. So do you think farming is starting to lose its longevity as far as the people that know how to do it?
You know, if you just take a look at it around what I see, you might think that's the case. But I'm in a couple of groups for Black farmers, and they are everywhere, especially South Carolina, Georgia. You know, the southern states. It's a lot of us out there, and we're working there. You know, a lot of them are working on trying to come together, you know, to barter and to get our own food system going, you know, where we're
Absolutely.
selling, and we get transportation in there, so we all eat, you know, we all come to the table and eat.
We had a I don't know if it's still there, right outside, because I'm down the street from it's Columbia College, and
Okay.
within 5 miles is Benedict College. But
Mhm.
they had a little store. It was a black owned grocery store, so it was small. It was probably size of a gas station maybe. But they bought all their stuff from black farmers.
Yes.
I don't know if they're still open, and this was like a year before COVID happened. So I don't know if
Hmm.
they're still open, but I just thought the idea was so dope. And they would tell you every day, they'd give you a log of who and where is the food being dropped off from. So it would be like so and so farms of, I think, Scepter or whatever. But they would let you know where the food was coming from. I thought that
And
was
we
pretty
have to
dope.
support that. We have to
Absolutely.
support that. You know, we don't want to always depend on other people for what we need.
We don't,
When
but
we
it's
have our
perception.
own growing it, support that.
But yeah, it's our perception. When you see a dude coming here with some dirty shoes, overalls, and the truck beat up, and it
I'm
just
probably
doesn't
gonna
look
eat
presentable,
anything he cooked.
huh?
I'm probably gonna
I
eat
mean,
anything he
but
cooked.
you would, but the average person might not. They'll just pick the box of cereal off the shelf that look the same every time you see it. That
Yeah.
logo
Yeah,
the same every time you see it. Like, it's presentable, it's clean, and that's what is comfortable.
But
I
we really
grew
do
up
have to
seeing
change
it.
that.
Right, like I grew up seeing it. My grandfather, my mother's father, he had hogs, chickens. They did a lot of corn and watermelon. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I grew up seeing it, but I never got the opportunity to like grow up with it. Like I would go over the summer. Like I was
Yeah.
terrified of chickens till I was about 13 or 14 because chickens mean as shit. Who
Not
knew
They
chickens
are.
was mean?
I
not
don't
as
like
bad as
them.
geese. Geese is
I don't
worse.
like
You ever
them.
seen a geese? You ever been attacked by a
Yes, I
geese?
don't like them.
Yeah, all these birds. Somebody
Hmm.
asked in the group, I think it was Pastor Palmer, do y'all grow organic food? And I feel like organic is just a hot button word. Like if it grow out the ground, ain't it organic? Like if it grew from an actual seed of
Not if
But
you're
it's not.
adding like
Yeah,
chemicals.
yeah.
You know,
That's not.
you go a natural
oh
route.
okay.
No
You know,
pesticides and
Okay.
none of that.
pesticide. You really don't want all of that, and that requires a lot of work. So when you go to the grocery store and you see organic vegetables, they're a little bit higher. Well, it takes work. You just anybody can go spray. You know, uh, uh, anything on
Miracle
these
Grow
plants
and
to make
all
them
that.
grow bigger, faster. But you're eating chemicals. That's not
So
good
you
for
do
our
grow
system.
organic.
Yeah, it's out there. Yeah, yeah.
So let me ask you this, because it kind of contradicts itself. Then eating off the land as you do, off the land, that is healthy. You can go slaughter a pig and eat a pig 4 days out the week. You still eating healthy, right? Because
I
We
think
don't
all
so.
That's what I'm saying.
Now
So,
we don't have pigs. I don't really eat pork, like that. I really stick to chicken, and
but that's
fish.
still,
Mm.
but that's still
But I
fun. That's
understand
still,
what you're saying.
yeah, that's still
Um,
healthy compared to you eating, like you said, these vegetables that have pesticides and all these other chemicals that are used to make it last longer. You're eating chemicals compared to you might go eat some dang on bacon or whatever that a
mhm,
hog
mhm.
has grown from a little whatever you call a piglet to a hog, but everything that's been in that hog.
Right, right.
That, that's dope because it contradicts
Yeah.
itself. That's why I say that it's thought provoking because it kind of contradicts itself to what
Mhm,
people are saying as far as eating healthy
mhm, mhm.
or
You know,
organic.
I don't really do the pig too tough.
I
You
would
know,
say that, but bacon is awesome, cuz. Like
bacon is
I stopped eating pork one time and bacon brought me back. I knew I was gonna be sick. I knew it, but that bacon was talking to me. Woke me up out my sleep.
yeah that bacon is has superpowers. Like if
Yeah,
I
I
can
don't
if I can
I
have
don't care
unlimited
about nothing else too much.
if I can have unlimited something other than money, bacon might be up there like top tier.
Y'all,
Now don't say
I
nothing
I stopped
nasty for
by
me
this
not to like bacon.
this store a couple days ago, and they had bacon wrapped chicken thighs that were
Mm,
stuffed with pepper jack cheese.
Okay.
they doing too much.
This too
But
much.
I would
But
eat
I
it.
bought them.
I'm about to say I'd try
Hey,
It was delicious.
hey, speaking of that, we had a Balo by us and they had jowl bacon on sale for like a month. So every day my dad would go out there, he knew the guy at the deli cutting it, and he would cut up some thick slices. So one of my other homeboys, he caught on, he was going there. He was like, about a week later, he was like, bro, I don't know why I keep having these damn headaches. Bro, you eating bacon. You
by the
eating,
pound.
you eating a pound of bacon a day.
Your
Why you
bacon ain't
got
supposed to look like a pork chop, sir. That is bacon.
oh man, he still talking about that. He's like, bro, I mean, because they won't sell, so you get a lot. And the dude at the deli, since he knew he was cutting them some good slices, bro was eating bacon breakfast, lunch, and dinner plus snacks. Whenever he came to my pop's house, he eat some more bacon. Bro, like man, I keep getting these damn headaches. About to make me a bacon sandwich when I get home.
I think what
Bacon is
is
delicious.
ba- like I said, pork chops, yeah, I'd
Mm,
miss it, but I could do without.
right.
Ham, yeah. Something about crispy fried bacon,
Crispy
cuz.
bacon. When that thing peep.
Yeah, I'm never gonna win that battle, cuz. I like, huh? Like, do you remember the old cartoon fingers
Yeah.
just wafted through the house? That's how I be feeling if I smell bacon before I wake up.
Man, bacon is like Folgers coffee in the morning. Like you smell bacon, that thing wake all your senses up.
Be like, it's gonna be a good day today. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a good day.
Some grits and
I don't even
bacon.
know what's going on out there, but I
Heck
smell
yeah.
bacon, and it's a good start.
Nigga, sitting
Um,
over the damn frying pan eating bacon fresh out the hot grease.
nah, I ain't doing it like that. I've learned my lesson. You know, you be thinking you a man, you gonna go make breakfast with no shirt on.
Yeah, that
Bacon will
shit
get you
started.
together.
That and
Yeah,
grits. My
bacon will
brother,
get you
man, my
together.
brother burnt me with some grits one day. Yeah, he
See,
burnt.
he always playing the victim, cuz. Like, it wasn't no Al Green situation, cuz.
I did.
A piece of grit flew out the pot and landed on him. And he been
Don't
talking
nobody
about this
want
shit for
no
30
hot grits
years.
on them.
Thank you.
It
And I,
it
and
popped out the pot. It
I was
ain't like
probably
I
like,
was
It's
over
like
there
cookie
shucking.
grits for that reason.
I was like 8 years old, maybe. It might have been younger than that.
Right. So why you in the kitchen? You
And
ain't
let me
making
tell
no
you,
grits.
and let me tell you something. How he get? He talking about I had one grit. Now you tell me how you can divide one grit. When
One
grits
grit
come out,
out of all them grits.
oh, that tell you he lying, ain't it? I got one grit on me.
Because you can have individual rices.
You have,
Grits. Oh Lord.
you can't have individual rices, but you can have individual grits.
Nah, man, look.
No,
I
we can't
think
do that.
it was an unfortunate accident that he gonna stop blaming me for. That's what happened.
Unfortunate accident.
Yeah,
Okay.
Again, it wasn't like I was like, get on, and I've like boiled up some grits and threw hot grits at him. Cause if you nosy and you put your face in the pot, Maybe you shouldn't put your face in the pot.
But who's the adult who's supposed to be taking care of the younger brother? That's
You
not.
live, you still here,
Man, that shit burned me.
and
I'm
you got
still
a story to
traumatized.
tell. Apparently,
Okay, Ellie, you ain't died, so moving on.
Man,
see, now that's what I'm talking about. That's
yeah,
real world stuff right there.
he gave me an
Letting
extra.
people know.
He gave my black ass an extra birthmark. That shit.
Is it still there? Can you
I
still
just
see it?
don't think I
Yeah,
would
that shit
want to
was on
be
my
hit with no
stomach.
hot grits.
Man, he hit me with the hot
Yeah.
grits. He hit me with some hot grits.
I don't know, man. Like we not built like our parents was, man, and I
Hell no.
think that's
Definitely
the
not.
significance of of a show like this and us talking about your experience. Like my father, he can like he'll fry turkey and like grab the turkey out the fry with his hand, like,
Yeah.
pow, gotta get that. And, hey, hold the pan. That's 400 degrees, sir.
Degrees.
I
Oh,
don't.
honey.
Right.
Yeah, just hold the pan. You just a
Yeah.
shitting. You know what I'm
My
saying?
mama
Like,
throws down in the kitchen. She throws down, and I'm like,
right.
oh no, we're not gonna do that that
Like,
way.
Man, my dad
like
did
that
the
ain't
crab.
hot.
Yeah, my dad did the crab boil and stuck his hand into the pot. He stuck his hand into the pot. My shit been like this. That shit been,
Yeah.
We
man, I was
ain't got it, y'all. We ain't
yeah,
got it.
man. My dad got
What
his
is your what
hold
is
on
your
real quick.
plan to
Oh,
carry on? Like, how many of your family members, children, nephews, nieces, like, are they coming along, and do they understand the importance of keeping this going for the family?
They're all the grandkids, my children, and my nieces and nephews. They're all in their 20s, except for my sister's kids. They're 8 now. They're here on the farm with us, so it's everyday life for them. It's a set of twins. One of them is all about, my dad. He follows him like the tractors. When I'm out, on the tractor cutting grass or doing something out here, he's out here. The other one wants no part of it. Um, my kids, they grew up. We moved several times, and so they are more city than country.
They are
At
of the
this
world.
point, they don't really appreciate, you know, what it is right now. My brother's kids grew up closer to home, and they have a better grasp than mine. So they understand, but you don't really get the the whole picture until you're my age, and you realize,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
one of the greatest things that I could ever think about was, it's a great feeling, to know that I'll never be homeless. Like, I don't have to worry about being homeless, or paying anybody's mortgage. I don't have a mortgage. I don't, you know, and my
Right.
grandfathers and my parents made that possible. Like, I don't,
Right.
I'm living in a free house. Um, it's not free, my parents, paid for it. Um, but it's generational, and I try to make my kids understand, how blessed, and that, when you say, I'm not going to be like my parents, I'm just like my mama. She would always say, y'all are blessed and you don't even know it.
yep.
You don't even know it. And now I know it. you know
Right.
I know it. And I want my kids to learn that. But you know we
I mean,
all we all have to learn, by growing, and
yeah.
hopefully they will see. Because when I say there is nothing out here,
Right.
we ain't got no red light. We got a Dollar General,
Mm.
Well, you
a
got more than my
gas
dad.
station.
You got more than what my dad got. My dad ain't got nothing out where he
It
from.
still ain't no
It's
Dollar
still
General out
nothing
that
out there.
motherfucker.
It's 20 minutes to a gas station. If you ride the speed limit, it's about 20 minutes to a
You
gas
might
station.
see God. You might see God flick the sun on where
Yeah,
he
you'll
from.
see. Yeah, my
But I
dad.
tell you what, it is the most beautiful thing to see the stars in the sky. When I walk outside, I can see the stars, the sunset, you know, to having the cows, on the farm, just what the peace that I have is,
Right.
I can't explain it. I can't
Yeah.
explain it.
Right.
And I work in the city. So I drive to the city every day, and the drive home, I'm a DJ. I'm singing as loud as I can sing, and it's peaceful. It's my time to wind down from my day. And I get here and I don't have anybody right up on me. I can go outside in my robe and not, you know, be
Right.
worried about the neighbors. Just my uncle or my parents.
Yeah.
So do you
And you
It's
think?
just be
it's
like,
it's
"What
just
you
a
looking
level of
at?"
peace that, and you trade it off. I can't run to Walmart. You know,
So, what's your gun game like? You know how to John Wick your shit. Five, five, five.
absolutely, absolutely. Actually, I'm taking a concealed carry class on the 19th,
Okay.
so I can conceal carry, and I'll be getting my motorcycle soon,
Okay.
and
What you getting?
so
You trying to be John Wick for real?
Yeah, what you getting?
I'm getting a Can-Am
Oh,
Riker
okay,
900.
okay.
So, um, just living life. I'm just living life. I on this side of it, I'm like, I'm at peace. Feels
So
That's
you,
good.
what's happening.
so you believe your kids might, like you said, it took you 30 years roughly to get back. You believe you can reel your kids in before then? And when I say
I
reel them in,
think
not force them, but they'll see it because kids are more attentive this day and age than what we say. They choose not to do certain things, but they know if it's worth it.
I feel like the world is gonna put her kids in check. Like as we see the world do what it's doing now,
What it's doing.
Yeah,
I think the world is gonna put, you know, get your kids together. I think they understand. They just understand that they have a choice and they don't have to.
Right. So my kids
But
are in college. One of my sons, my oldest son, he's the middle child, is at in college in Orlando, and then my
mhm,
other is at LSU. And my daughter finished college, and so she's off on her own. And what I am hoping is that they will, okay, yes, college is great, but I want you to become a business owner. Like, I don't want you having to go apply, you know, to work for somebody and be under that pressure. Take what your grandparents and your great grandparents have boosted you up with and provided you with, and then run with that, you know.
mm,
Um, and so yes, I do hope that they are able to, come in and see. Yeah, and we do have those discussions, but you got to let kids grow and
well, you
and
got.
go on their own, because the more you pressure them, the more they run away from it.
Well, I think
And
this.
when you used to running down the street to get fast food, you don't want to be over here talking about, mama, I gotta cook this, you gotta thaw this out, everything is slow here.
It is,
right.
but that's why their mind is young and with technology. And you say, well, how do we make this faster? And
Yeah.
get their brain working as far as what can I do here to make everything we do faster? Whether
Right.
it's like you got horses, whatever, drinking out of trough. Well, if the trough gets low, how do you fill it back up? Well,
Right.
you put a pump on it, it gets to a certain level, like in a toilet, and it
Right.
raises back up.
Right.
And I know y'all probably already had that, but it's just the idea of expanding that you should push in their
There are
heads to.
technological advances in everything.
And
Yeah.
not only that, like learning how these government grants work
Yes.
and
Yes.
these loans to these farmers, where these people practically live off the government. And you see them driving these Denali's, and all these big tractors and everything, and they're paying for that stuff. Like, figure out how that works. Get to the
That's
get to the real money.
that's what I was asking you.
That
Like, y'all
part.
don't have nothing where y'all can like bring kids in and it'd be like school, like they come and y'all show them how to live on the farm for 2 3 weeks, or you have college students come and then they pay you to
Work the
teach them
farm.
how to. Huh?
I really want to learn how to make money off of this farm. I don't want to go, although I love my job, I don't want to clock in no more. I just,
You
I
ain't
don't.
wrong.
And I
I'm
have
so
a
sick
very
of
easy job. you know.
Yeah, I
But
don't know. Jobs is for suckers.
Yeah,
right, I want to make this. I want
I'm
to
a
make this
sucker because I
land
got
make
me a
me
job.
some money, some big
Right.
Well,
money.
the land is always going to make you the money. The land money never turns off. It never clocks out.
Right.
That's
Like
right.
it's your land, so you don't have to worry about it. But I understand what you're saying. Like you have to adapt with times, and I think that's what your kids need to show you they can do to better
Hmm.
themselves is to adapt with time. Like don't just look at it as we clean up the same shit every day. Well, find a better and faster way to clean up that same shit.
You
Right.
cleaning up valuable shit. Even the shit is worth
Yeah,
some money.
It's worth
yeah,
something. Like everything is valuable here. You don't throw anything away.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
we ain't gonna hold you hostage and nothing. We getting ready to uh get up out of the bar as per
okay.
se. Five principles of farming, whether they practical principles or complex ideas. Five things that you would tell people about farming or about growing anything in the future.
Hmm. Education. Like learn whatever you need to learn. And I'm talking to myself. I need to learn more. Be a lifelong learner. Um, integrate with other people. Go out and seek knowledge from the local co-ops, the colleges. You know their programs. Um, be creative. Be creative. Just because it's always been done a certain way doesn't mean that it always has to be done just that way. Like my
Indeed.
grandmother would say, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Uh, what else? Share, take care of your neighbors. You know, life looks a little different for me, seeing my parents age. And a lot of times our generation and the one after us, we um we take a lot of things for granted in terms of friendship, um, family. You know, when you become 75, um, you're elderly. Everybody starts to drop off. They're dying. Um, you will miss that. So community is important. Um,
Mm.
give back. You know, give back. Whatever you grow, share it. Gosh, just be great. Just take a chance. And I'm talking to myself as I'm saying this. I'm fearful. I'm like, okay, well, I'm a thinker, so I want to make sure. Okay, well, is this okay? How is this going to work? And sometimes you just got to jump in and go and figure it out. Along the way. But at one point I thought I wanted goats, and I'm like, well, do I want to get up in the wintertime when it's cold and deal with a goat?
What the
You
goat?
know,
What you gonna do with the goats? Is it
well,
milk? Is it
goat
meat?
milk. People buy goats to
People
Mm-hmm.
eat.
love
You know, um, people use the goat milk for candles, soap, all
I think that's
kinds
the
of
most
stuff.
universal milk is goat milk.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know.
Um.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
used to feed my dog goat milk. I used to buy goat milk. They said that's the
Yeah.
best. That's the
So I'm
Okay.
best
hoping
Well,
milk.
we can create something.
we going into the last call. It's time to get up out of here. The bartender's looking at us like, "Hey man, I got to do this again tomorrow." Last call is where you just kind of do your thing, man. Where you can be motivational, you can curse somebody out, you can be profound, you
Yep,
can be
you need to
funny,
curse
you can
somebody
do it.
out, Amy.
It's whatever you want to do. Leaving the bar to make the people come back next week, man.
You
So
acting real
if you want to
sadistic.
repeat it, if you want to give your social, this your last minute to talk to the people.
We need you to be hood.
You
Louisiana.
know,
Louisiana.
something that's really been on my mind a lot is this, racism and how we're losing our black kids. I got two black sons. It's hard for me to be separated from them. I know that they've got to grow. But I truly believe that This next generation is going to be the generation to turn the tide. We need to have allies, and we can hoop and holler all day long, but it's going to take allies on the other side to stand up and speak for us and speak against the things that happened to us back in the day. And we need to embrace that and support them and protect them. Um, Another thing that I'm really big on is relationships. I am over the black man, black woman war. I'm done. I don't have any more in me to fight that war. You know, we time is wrapping up for all of us. We need to just chill out on that and learn how to get along. You know,
Absolutely.
uh, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much that's all I got. That's all I
That's
got.
a dope
And
last
another
call.
thing I would say, let me say this. I would encourage everybody to consider kidney donation. Just look into it. You could save a life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got a big one.
That's a real one, especially for our family. Me and my brother know about that. But
Yes.
Carolina Dirt, what's your final call, bro?
Final call is anything and everything that we do is network. Uh, I've been trying to get Amy on here for Amy. It's been about 3 weeks to a month. We met Amy through Let's Talk Under the Tree with them fellas, and
What up, though?
she was always vocal about comments and stuff like that. And I think she'd bring something to the show, and also would help us think about doing like one person, one viewer a month, of just bring them on the show and talk whatever shit they want to talk. Listen, just be a face to the words that are typed out. And she actually gave us more gems on this show than I ever thought. But she kind of ratchet a little bit, just a little bit. But
Eh,
but no, I appreciate her like staying solid and actually doing it because she was supposed to come on before, but it got iffy. But this time she was ready. She handled it. Of course, open invitation for you to come back if you
all
want.
right.
But it's all about networking. Network
Yes.
with the young people, network with the old people, network with people that have a talent that you don't have.
Right.
Uh, and it's the bottom of the bottle. So we done tapped in. We about to tap out. But Amy, stay online. When he closes out, stay online for about 5 minutes.
All right. Thank y'all for
All
having
right.
me. I enjoyed this.
Absolutely. This is you were super dope. You are by far like when I think about women, I don't think about farmer. You are the most aesthetically pleasing black woman farmer I've ever seen in my life. Not that there's not any other ones out there, but I just needed to say that. My final call is
Hey,
this.
she would have been better if she didn't eat that McDonald's. That McDonald's like lowered her
Oh
down.
man, it's like this, man. Again, you never know who you sitting next to at a doctor's appointment or at the bus stop or behind at the gas station, man. It's to say that there's extraordinary people everywhere you go, and sometimes it might be all right to just say, "Hey, we got to get away from this jaded feeling of everybody is out to get us."
Right.
Furthermore, people generally don't give a fuck about you because they got their own shit going on. So they not necessarily your enemy. They just
Right.
into what they into.
Right.
Man in the
Let's
mirror.
stop being let's stop being enemies. Let's look inward. Let's be better to each other, man.
Right.
I'm not gonna call it the Christian way. I'm not gonna call it any kind of way other
It's the
than
human way.
we it's the human way, man.
Get up
Right.
out my
We
face.
all here
Get out my face.
to do what we here to
My
do.
face.
And don't stop me from doing that.
Yeah,
So
leave me
that is
alone.
my final call.
No,
Um, what is going on with you? You got Tourette's?
Nah,
I don't know
I
what's
was
going on with my brother.
leave me
Look, I love the good people, man. This is the Bottom of the Bottom podcast. Like, share, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Support us doing what we doing, and we'll support you. Everybody
alone.
be easy and have a good night.
Good night.